Okay, so with this first CAD video, I'm using Google Sketchup because it's very easy to use and to learn, and you'll be up and running very quickly. But it demonstrates the main functions of CAD software. And you'll see that as we go along. This is the only lab that will be using Google SketchUp, but it's really a great thing to know about and to be able to use. All right. So the first thing is you'll double click on the SketchUp icon, and then the first thing we'll do with this dialog is come down here. We want to set the template. And the template is, as you'll see in the other CAD software that we're using, you have to set a template or what they call a seed file. It basically just has the settings for your drawing. And what we want to use is engineering feet. Okay, that's the one we want to use. And then start using SketchUp. So this is lab 4 we're going to do here. Okay, so when you open up SketchUp, this is the window that you get. Now we're going to get rid of this young lady right here. Now this tool palette over here on the left that I have, you may not have. So the way to get it is to come up here to View and Tool Palettes, and see I have the large tool set turned on. You want to turn that on because it's really handy to have. There's some of the same tools are along the top here, but it's not as convenient, I don't believe, as having them along the side. Okay, so you have the drawing area with the X, or the X, Y, and Z axes, and there's another little box down here. You'll see what the purpose of it in a minute. So first of all, let's change the way we're looking at these axes. Okay, we're doing a 2D drawing to begin with. We have the floor plan, so that's a 2D drawing. So let's change this to a parallel projection rather than perspective. Perspective is for presentation. Parallel projection is for drawing. So let's do parallel projection, and let's take a look just at the top. Right, we're looking down at the top because it's a plan view. Right, so now this hand over here, that's the same tool in many different drawing packages. It's a pan tool. So we're going to move the 0. There's Y and X. We'll move the 0 down to the lower left. Just for convenience, and we're going to draw this. We're going to draw this box, right? The outlines of this house is outline, I should say, of this house is a 18 feet wide by 30 feet long house. So it's a rectangle. We'll choose the rectangle tool. See, it looks like a rectangle. And see, when you come over here in the drawing area, it looks like a little pencil. That means I'm ready to draw something. So I'm going to come down here, let's start at 0, and see what happens when I go near a point. See what happens, it turns into a little yellow circle. That means it's snapping to that point. So left click, and now I want an 18, comma 30. Just type them in. That's all you have to do. And that creates a rectangle 18 by 30 feet, because remember the settings are feet. And let's oh, I'm zoomed in too far, so let's zoom out. You can zoom out with this simple zoom tool. Just click on that and click and drag down. Click and drag up, zooms in. Click and drag down, zooms out. Or you can use this this tool right here with the little arrows pointing away from the magnifying glass. That zooms extents. So now that just fits everything I've drawn into the window. Okay. So now I want, it says here in the assignment, I want what? 6-inch thick walls. All right. So I can use guidelines to set those to figure out where that is. So basically, I'm going to do is draw another rectangle 6 inches in from this one. Okay. And there are a number of ways to do this. The simplest way for now is just to use this tape measure. Click on the tape measure. Come over here and see when it's on the edge, it turns into a little red square. Okay. Now left click when it's there, and then come over. Just move your mouse over and type in 0.5, return. And come down here when it turns into a little red square, again, left click, and then go up, 0.5, done. Over here on the right, left click, 0.5, done. And then we're going to come down here, 0.5, done. Now I can draw, now I have guidelines. I can draw another rectangle that's 6 inches in. See now what happens? It snaps to that point, and I can snap to this bottom right point like that. Now I have another rectangle inside of that one. Now look, I have this inside wall that is 12 feet down from the inside, so it's a 12-foot wide wall. So I'm going to use this guideline again, and I'm going to come down from this inside wall 12 feet. Oh, but this inside wall is 6 inches thick as well. So I'm going to come onto this line, snap, left click, and then 0.5 is the thickness of the wall. And then, oh look, see there's a 2-foot 6-inch opening right here. So 2 feet 6 inches from the inside edge of this left wall. 2.5, return. There we go. See, now I have the inside wall outlined. So now I can draw another little rectangle and snap to the points. Make sure you're snapping to those points. Okay, and now see I have a little extra little wall in there. I'm going to use the eraser tool. See the little eraser? So when I come over here and click on that little extra piece, that gets rid of that. So now let's edit, delete guides. That gets rid of all those extra lines. So now let's go into 3D. So I'm going to rotate. So right here, this is the orbit tool. I'm going to rotate this a little bit, maybe like this. That's probably okay. Maybe zoom out just a little bit. And now I'm going to use this push-pull tool. You'll see what this does. Watch this. Click on that. And when I come over here, see how it highlights the little red little dots inside the figure? I don't want to push-pull that. I want to push-pull the walls. So when the walls get those little dots inside of them, that's when I'm ready. So left-click, and I'm going to just pull up. You don't have to drag anything. You just move the mouse. You're not holding the key down or anything. Just drag the mouse and type in 8 feet. And you're done. There you go. So there you go. You have a 3D thing here. So now I want to place a front door centered on this front wall. So I'm working on the front wall. So let's take the front view of this. Zoom in a little bit. Just a little bit there. And I'm going to use some guidelines again. So I'm going to go from here and I'm going to snap to the center point. See the midpoint? I'm going to put a guideline there. Now the door is centered on that, and the door is 3 feet wide. So it's 1.5 feet either way. So I'm going to come here and go over here 1.5 feet. And then I'm going to come over here and go over 3 feet. And then I'm going to, the door is 6 feet high. So I'm going to come up here and go up 6 feet. So now I can draw a rectangle for the door. There we are. So now I can do a window as well. The window is centered on the left side of the front. So it's 4.5 feet in from the left. So I'm going to use the guide again. The center of it is 4.5 feet in, 4.5. And it is 2 feet wide. So 1 foot on either side of that line. And this is 2 feet. And the window, we'll say the window is at the same height as the door. You'd have to be much more precise if you had a real spec for drawing this picture. So let's start at this point and come down, 2 by 3. Actually, it's 3 by 2. 3, 2. There's the window. So let's get rid of these guides again because they get in the way. Let's orbit this a bit, like this. And we're going to push-pull. We're going to push the door out. Right? So just left-click and move it just a little teeny bit in, and then type 0.5. And that gets rid of it. And then here, same thing. Left-click, just move it a little bit in, and then type 0.5, and there it's gone. Both of them are gone now. It's hollow. Right? All right, so now the next thing, well, I want yellow walls, right? So I'm going to do yellow interior walls. So I'm going to use the paint tool. See this little bucket of paint? And that brings up this dialog box, and I can control what I'm dumping in there, and I'm going to dump some colors in there. I have apple, you have just regular colors, and I'll choose yellow, and I can just click on the interior walls. Well, see, now I can't see some of them, so I have to come over here, use the orbit tool, and so on. I won't do all of them for my exercise. Now, what I want to do is brick cladding, it says in the assignment. So I'm going to use brick, and I can choose this one. It doesn't matter. I choose that one, and when I come over here and paint, now see it's brick. And now I have to do all of the walls, not just those two, right? So I have to come back here and move around and do all the walls. There we are. I didn't do the back wall, but that's okay. So now I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to do the roof. So I'm going to start from the front view like this, okay? And the 1 to 9 pitch. That means if it goes from the left corner to the center, it moves 9 feet horizontally, so it goes up 1 foot. So let's come over here and put a guideline 1 foot vertical, like that. And now I'm going to draw a line from this corner to the... now if I just rest over the midpoint for a minute, watch what happens. See, now it knows I want to be right at that distance. And I'm going to snap to this line, and then I'll snap and close over here. All right, now I'm orbiting this. I'll orbit this a little bit. You have to move around a little bit. Sometimes you have to maybe use the pan tool or zoom in or zoom out just a little bit. Right? Now what I'm going to do here is push this. And I'm going to push, see this surface right here. I'm going to make this the roof, and I'm going to snap right to that back corner. There it is. So now this front thing here, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Let's use the paint tool and make that a window. So I can use translucent stuff. Let's make that translucent like that. And let's do the roofing. Let's do this kind of roofing. And you're done. Whoops.